I did a picking, wow, I can't talk today. I did end up picking up a safety shield after last video after someone called me out. So thanks for calling me out for my safety. This is where we left off. We have one more runner to build here. I'm gonna weld this up first, I think, right here. Weld this up first. Maybe weld this up too. And then we'll build our runner. Want to get our log all welded up. Also, Nick said I should put another pass over top of this one. It's gonna be finished this episode, I promise. We have to need our vise because it's good for propping things up with. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and burn off all the contaminants in this one, as Nick told me to do. Well, I shouldn't touch the one that I just did. And I'm going to try and do a second pass on top of this one. We're going to try and fill even more of this gap. It's getting hot because the heat from like the end of the pipe is like right on my hand. Maybe I should just move this. You can see it's like smoking. Stop hitting this, Jesus. Now some spots look like a little bit suck, but you get the gist of it when I show you. You see how this one's kind of like concaved into the pipe here? Like it's not all the way making a bump over the pipe, and then this one you can see where it's actually taller than the pipe now, that weld. So I think that's what he was trying to get me to do. Maybe even taller than this. I'm just too slow at adding filler, I think. Or I don't have enough amps, or something like that. But I'm gonna do that for the rest of them too. I'm gonna build them up. That way it's stronger and it doesn't break when I hang the turbo off the end of it. That's the whole point, right? Yeah, come on, you know what I'm talking about. Now, to be completely honest, it's been like 3 days, and I have no idea where I left this video off, so we're going to continue with what we were doing. I did shave my face and my hair a little bit. It's a little wacky right now. This one has 2 passes on it. We're gonna put 2 passes on this one, 2 passes on this one, 2 on this one, and then we're gonna figure out our flange here. Then we're gonna work on getting these ones all welded up, and then we'll work on our last one here. Now also, I seen a guy on Instagram, he had like this cool setup where he had an adjustable stand to like just rest his wrist on to make things welding easier. And I was like, I got a magnetic base stand for this dial indicator. Why don't I try and use that? So I'm gonna see if I can like set this up so I can set my wrist on it and I don't have to touch the manifold and I can like get some nice even welds going. We are just going to use the upright and this rod, and we'll get rid of this one. So it'll just be like another addition to our table where I can like, I'll turn it on, I can put it off to the side and tighten this up. I hope. And then I can just, oh yeah, that should work. I just can't put too much pressure on it because it only goes so tight. I think I might have already stripped it. Why didn't it come tight already? Weird. I only have 2 tungsten sharp, so I should sharpen all of them. I think I have like 7 more or something. You know what, thinking about this now, I'm gonna get the hot side of the turbo on here just so I don't warp this flange while I'm welding this one. This is totally gonna make it much more awkward to weld now. But shouldn't warp this flange now, and then we got this one to stop this flange from warping. I'm also trying a little bit different technique. Usually I would move the torch very slowly in little increments. I'm trying to jump a bit further and then fill and see if our bigger spacing is gonna work out better. No, I still didn't get a bench. Boy, do I ever need one. I can get rid of this one. Because I bought 2 more buckets to make my bench higher. Hey! So with this one, I actually tried to increase the distance that I was like jumping with the torch. You can see like these ones are little tiny jumps with the torch, and this one's a lot wider. I'm just trying something different, see if it works. I'm starting to weld the one on the end here, except you can see that my welder's struggling to penetrate this big thick thing here, so I'm like sitting for so long. Because 125 amps, not enough. That's what I get for not having 220 in my garage. Poor life. So I managed to fill the gap on this side. It looked a lot like this side, but I had a technique where, let me get a rod, or a piece of one. So I just moved the torch from here to here, and I would dab a fill here, while moving the torch back and forth. So I would torch here, dab, torch here, dab, torch here, dab, and it would slowly just bridge the gap across the whole thing. And that's how we ended up with something like that. There, both sides welded. Because I had to go so slow, I'm only at 125 amps and it's taking a bit to get heat into that metal, which is probably making too much heat because I'm going so slow. I gotta let the torch cool down because it's super hot. But it's welded all the way around. I might do another pass, especially like on this side here, get a bunch more filler in there. And then after we're done, we'll pull this off and we'll definitely Dremel the inside out and make it a lot smoother. I kind of did a thing. Look at that pattern. Let me get some light in here. I think that's the issue, is there's no light on this piece. Look at it. I did a thing. Kinda cool. So, moving on. We're gonna let this thing cool a little bit and we're just gonna try and weld some runners here, I guess. See what we can do. I'm actually really liking this thing. It helps me steady my hand pretty good. All 125 amps, let's go. I keep forgetting everything is hot. So I just finished up like a whole lot of welding down here, and I just have a little bit left. I have to do my second passes on some of these bigger welds, but most of these ones are almost done. I just have to get the tight radius spots where it looks really dumb because it's hard to get in there. And then we'll build our last runner. So a couple little more welds in here. We're gonna have to use some stick out, sorry buddy. My ceramic cup is goddamn hot now too. Sometimes you gotta do weird shit to get in weird places. I was talking about buttholes. So this is kind of where we're at for now with this thing. We've got this completely welded up here. This one could probably use another weld. This one use another weld, and this one right here. And then all of these have been welded up also. You can see, like, if you can get yourself a good hand rest and stuff, you can get some good welds going. But then as soon as you gotta try and get like in here, it kind of starts sucking. So anywhere there's like a tight spot, the welds start to get a little more suck. And that magnetic thing like really helped a lot for stabilizing in weird spots also. So I recommend that. Hey, so we have everything on here that we need welded so far. Now it's just to build this last little tube. Hopefully. I guess there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Look at this. Savage. Can't see shit out of it now. So here's our next piece. This fits in there like this. It's also got the little curve to go up that way. If anything, it's probably going to strengthen our weld here because we're going to join the two pipes on this weld also. So give it a little extra support on our 90. So we'll hole saw this out and then grind it down. Proud how thick that pipe was. Almost. Hey! Oh no, our piece is stuck in there. Now you can still see we have like an enormous thing to hog out, so this machine here, and if I plug it in, it might work better. Back to welding! Where the impact gun at? Here's our 2.5-inch stainless V-band. We're gonna V-band them together so they don't warp apart. And we're gonna put it on this side. Now the thing is, this is stainless, this is mild steel, so we're gonna have to use a different filler rod. We're gonna have to use 309 stainless, I do believe, which is compatible for mixing two dissimilar materials. So put that on there, and we'll weld that up. I have to clean this edge up a little bit with the flappy wheel first. You wanna know the super crazy part is I almost ran out of my, wow, that was crazy. I almost ran out of all my mild steel filler rods, so I'm gonna have to make a new order to order that. The good thing is the tube that I ordered is like 19 bucks. And we ran out of half of our argon already too, and that was 90 bucks. So when I get better at welding, materials will be easier to use, I guess. It's really thin stuff. I don't think I have a thick 309. See if we can tack weld you on here with no filler to begin with a really high amperage. Ah, I grabbed the weld, that was so hot, ow. I keep thinking it's this weld that I should be grabbing from there. Got him! Put a tack weld on the 4 quadrants. Let's see what happens here. The police, I can hear them. I don't think I need this many amps. I'm leaving this unedited. That way you guys know I like to talk to myself a lot when I'm welding by myself. When the sound's cut out. I'm actually talking to myself a lot. Brutal! I gotta sharpen my tungstens again. Oh no, I lost this one. So I got this little backdrop set up because it's easier to take photos and videos on it. So maybe? I don't know. How about I just get the camera? I mean the We got another successful weld on the end there. That one was a little bit easier just because it was thinner and I can move a lot faster. Now I don't really want to unbolt anything until it's all cooled down, so I don't want any warpage anywhere, so I'm gonna let this all cool down. Then we can bolt it on the car and get the wastegate ready. I'm actually going to a car meet now. This was probably 4 or 5 hours for me to do today. Well, I woke up at 1 at 6. This is about 4 hours of fabbing and welding for me. I used about half a tank of argon. Like, it's a big deal for me to do this. This is my first ever one. I wasn't too concerned about like wrecking it or anything, so I could go ham on it. You can go ham. I did have this. I can do a lot more prep work. I can still make it a lot cleaner and nicer. Probably end up painting it, but I'm quite satisfied with how it is now. Let's put the turbo on here, I guess. See what it kind of looks like. And that's how it's going to look with the turbo. So, how did I do, guys? Make sure to leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and peace easy, get that V. Going to a car meet now. See if I can see some hood rat stuff. 2JZ, no shit. What does this button do?
That's race gas tune.
So flip it up. Reverse because the tire's in the way?
Yeah, I have this reverse lockout. It's a misshift solenoid, but
Here.
yeah.
Fuck. Why is your mom's truck engine in here?
It's my uncle's boat engine, okay? What you looking at? Oh.
Fuck, did you see him skid?
Seen the skids, but